And it's showtime. Hey, everybody, welcome. Happy May 1st. I'll say it again. I can't believe another month has gone by. And thank you so much for joining for the show. You would not believe the show we have tonight. I already have two guests down below, right there and right there. And they're in the basement, and I'm going to bring them up soon. But we might have three guests tonight. I'm just waiting to hear if the third guest is going to join us. And I don't know if I ever had three guests before. This is going to be nuts. Anyway, there is so much to talk about. I'm so excited. I hope you enjoyed the introduction. That was a little video that I caught on the recent trip to Massachusetts, which we will talk about momentarily, as well as some CN mainline freight action taken just outside of George's trains here just north of Toronto. That name will feature in this broadcast as well. You know the drill. I'm going to start off by picking beer, and there's a story behind that as well. But before I pick the beer, and before I introduce you to who's in the basement and the guests and the game plan tonight, I want to welcome a few people here. I think the first person in who gets the traditional cookie was Mike H.O. Train, so welcome. Close on his heels, Dan Pugatch, welcome. And on his heels, Dave Kruiswyk, both of whom I met in Peabody and who will feature prominently in the first part of tonight's show. Then I saw Dave Hammer pop in. A lot of Daves tonight. Steve 87th, you are here for the special announcement, but I think I saw you say you had to leave, so you can always catch on replay if you want to come back. Joe Rader, hello. Stephen Seidler, Dwight Curley, Nelson Allison, thank you for joining. Matthew Hankins, it is a school night. Stephen S., Sean Rogers, and on and on and on. I think you're in for a real treat tonight. So let me fire up the beer screen, because as you know, for anyone who has been here in the past, it always starts with picking of the beer. And tonight's beer is a little bit of a change. So it is brought to you by not by this gentleman. This is the gentleman who's going to drink it. But it was brought to you by this gentleman. This is Dan Pugatch. And Dan, you are probably seeing your scan for the very first time tonight, for which I apologize and surprise. Dan was one of the people who I met recently in Peabody for the George Sellios open house. I, of course, brought my scanner down and scanned Dan with his guitar. And Dan, feel free to mention the name of your guitar, because I don't think I remember or can even say it. Is it a Grolsch? No, Grolsch is a beer. It's something like a Grolsch. Grolsch guitar, Gretsch. Is it a Gretsch guitar? Anyway, Dan brought his guitar and I spun him around. There we go. It's a Gretsch, which rhymes with Grolsch, which is a beer, not a guitar. And the reason I'm showing you Dan and his scan is because when I was down checking out George Sellios' layout for the second time, Dan very graciously gave me a 4-pack of Maine's finest. And Dan hails from Maine. So tonight's beer selections, and this is all by way of an introduction, Dan has provided tonight's beer selections, and I just want to read you a little bit about each beer and what Dan has said about them. And Dan, certainly feel free to chime in. So you are picking tonight from one of the 4 of these beers, all brought from Maine to Massachusetts and then over the border legally. I declared them. And I will tell you the first beer is peanut butter and fluff flavor stout. Now, as my wife will tell you, I am not a huge fan of peanut butter in general, but you can put pretty much anything in a stout and I will be happy with it. Ooh, and I just got word from our guest that he will be here in 20 minutes. So guest number 1 will be here in 20 minutes. Guest number 2 is in the basement and guest number 3 is in the basement. And the guests in the basement don't know which order they're in. So it's going to be really fun. That's what happens when you don't arrive for check-in. Okay, so back to Dan's peanut butter and fluff flavor stout, 6.2%. And Dan has told me that, what does he say? Woodland Farms, New England. Woodland Farms, yes, this one. New England Dream Stout was the wild card. This is definitely the wild card. They make weird beers. Their carrot cake stout is awesome. Now that I would drink because I love carrot cake. This one is peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. I have no idea what fluff is, but Dan says it was invented in Somerville, Massachusetts, where I went to have dinner when I was in Boston with my cousin, and where he used to live in his 20s. Okay, so that's the first beer. And I know everyone's going to vote for this one already, but let me get to the other ones. Barley wine, the ice scraper, is 10%. Gosh, help me. We brewed this barley wine to combat the bitter chill of Maine winters. It's malty delight with notes of caramel and toffee. It's strong enough to melt the ice on your windshield, but would be much better used to warm your soul on a frosty winter's night. Okay, so what does he say about this one? This is the barley wine, and he tells me that the barley wine, foul-mouthed brandy wine. Always wanted to try it. My neighborhood brewery. That's his neighborhood brewery. Okay. Then the third one here is the Tributary Pilsner. It's a Maine-made lager. And he tells me it's a great brewery and our traditional state flag on the can. And that is, what is that? This is, I didn't get to do my beer research in advance. 5%. Actually, I think that's probably my favorite so far. And last but not least, New England IPA, alcohol 5.8%, handcrafted in Down East Maine. And what does Dan say about this one? New England IPA. He says, Airline New England IPA, another traditional state flag beer. Never had this brewery. They are from closer to Canada. And then he finishes off by saying he tried to get breweries from all over the state of Maine. So thank you, Dan. That is unbelievably exciting. Vote early, vote often. As you guys vote to choose what beer I'm going to drink, I will offer some pictures of the solar eclipse because that happened as well. This is a sped up version of the solar eclipse. My son Ben and I went live from an amazing rail fanning spot about 45 minutes west of Toronto called Bayview Junction. It is a really great spot where you can see Via, Go, our regional passenger, and CN Freight all at the same time. We actually did see trains. My hope was that a train, oh, that's interesting. I don't know why it stopped. Whoops, let's go back. Wouldn't be, right without a few technical issues. I was hoping that a train would go by and the total eclipse, but it didn't, but it still got pitch black. And I've never seen anything like it before. It really was eerie and mystical and wonderful. And I hope you guys got to experience the solar eclipse wherever you were safely. I'm kind of stalling while people vote, and I think everybody is saying Dave wants me to drink the alcoholic one. Peanut butter fluff is definitely getting the most votes, and I think that's the one I'm going to drink. Okay. So while I crack that one open, I will talk about this gentleman. So while we were in Peabody, Massachusetts, and I'll be honest, one of the reasons that I went to Peabody, Massachusetts, other than, of course, to see George's incredible layout again. Oh, look at that. There we go. Had to do a little surgery on the can. Ooh, I already like it. Holy moly. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay. Let me go full screen for a minute while I pour this for you. I think there could be more beer than trains so far, but we'll get to trains in a minute. I love a good porter or a good stout. Look at that. Look at it. Oh, I love that. Look at the action on that. Okay, so we're going to have to let that sit for a minute, like a good Guinness, and just whatever. Peabody. Back to Peabody. One of the reasons that I went to Peabody was to meet this gentleman who I have seen online, who we have definitely become, I'd say, Facebook friends. But it was absolutely a pleasure to see you, Dave. This talking obviously about David Kruiswyk, otherwise known as Dave, and I don't know. I see you changed your screen name. Your scan looks amazing. I printed it out in HO scale, and can you believe it or not, you can actually see the handle of the coffee cup in HO scale. I mentioned this also because I have a fantastic video up on the YouTube page called Live from the FNSM, and that's the Franklin and South Manchester. And it's a better, more detailed look at George's layout, which I cannot talk about enough. It's just such a spectacular layout. One or two last things about the layout. When we were there, we played a little game, and I'm going to have my first sip while we tell you about this game we played. Oh man, that's fantastic. I love it. Thank you, Dan. And yes, Dave is the man, Dan. And also, you are the man, because I'm loving, believe it or not, the peanut butter and fluff flavor stout. I'm not sure that I was going to love it, but I do. But we played the best game. And I think, Dave, you probably created this game, because I scanned George and then sent a bunch of them to you. You painted them and then gave them to George, who then placed them all over his layout. And the game was find the 6 George Sellioses that George placed around his layout. And I'd say it probably kept us going for, easily a good, I don't know, maybe hour or two. I mean, they weren't easy. They were not easy. We had probably 5 or 6 people actively hunting for these. And it was a lot of good fun. So thank you, everybody from Peabody. Thank you for a wonderful meetup. And I'd like to talk a little bit about and show you what's new from miniprints this month before I introduce the first of our 3 guests. Okay. I want to do this. There we go. I can't stop drinking this. This is really good. So what's new from miniprints in the past month? Ooh, blue. It's hitting already. Songbirds. I've always wanted to do songbirds. I tried to do songbirds once. They were just too small. With the new printers that you might remember I put in, the detail is unbelievable. I'm able to go and do things that are significantly smaller with much finer detail. I'm starting to see buttons on jackets in HO scale. I'm starting to see, yes, believe it or not, eyeglasses, which I never could print before. And I thought it would be fun to do some robins for spring. So those are new this month. I'm super excited to bring out some more of the agricultural mini prints. The grain augers and the manure spreader have done really, really well. So this month brought out the 1,600-gallon water tank and the, I guess it's a grain cart. I've seen it called a seed cart or a grain cart made by Kilbros. Both of those were beautifully, beautifully painted by Mike H.O. Trains, who is on tonight. They can be ordered unpainted if you would like to have a stab at it. And you can also order them painted. And if you do, they will look just like this because Mike painted these and will paint them for you. The other thing I wanted to remind everybody of is that every Wednesday, so today included, I put one item up for sale on the sale tab. And they typically tend to be some of the earlier animals that were introduced 4 years ago. Last week, I think it was the fox or the coyote. No, it was the fox, the red fox. And this week it is, I just did it this morning. What did I put on sale? Well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. You have to go check out the sale tab and see what's up there. A couple more things this month. Redid the coyotes. So you saw the fox on the previous slide. The coyote was always just a big fox, and I thought it would be fun to do a better, sort of more lifelike coyote. So those are introduced. And of course, because April showers bring May flowers, had to do an HO scale umbrella. And this thing is the finest, most delicate 3D print I think I've ever printed. Last but not least, I promised it on the last broadcast, and it took me, believe it or not, until today to list it. But the Crystal Ice Cave Cavern is up on the miniprints.com webpage now. And yes, Steve 87th, I actually do have coyotes and roadrunners. So believe it or not, you can actually model both of those at Miniprints. But it took me forever, and I apologize. But the Crystal Ice Cavern that I talked about on last month's broadcast has now been listed. And I will just show it to you here. Here it is. So it's about 4 inches wide, 2.5 inches high, and about 2 inches deep. And it's, I'm holding it upside down, and it's beautifully modeled for you to cut into the fascia of your layout. It's got some steps in there, so you can put figures in there. It's built to hold the mini prints. Dragon will fit in there. You can model it as, you can model it as Superman trademarked Fortress of Solitude. You can go, park rangers taking a group of kids through, or you can go totally fantasy and whimsical and put a dragon in there. So this is the latest. So this is the third in the series of what I'm calling Beneath the Tracks. The Beneath the Tracks being items that you can cut into and model on the fascia of your layout, which I would argue is probably the least utilized space for modeling. You might have a throttle pocket or some car cards and waybills, or a drink holder on your fascia, maybe a few push pulls for switches, but now you can actually model a really cool scene. Jim Dustin, thank you. And I saw it. You were the very first order for the ice cave. And thank you. I got your order. Yes, you can now combine Dungeons and Dragons and trains if you so desire. And Matthew, absolutely. So the first Beneath the Tracks was the well. Timmy falls down the well that we cut into the fascia. The second was the underground 1960s nuclear fallout shelter. And the third is now the ice cave. Okay, moving right along. So that's what's new. This is our first guest who will be here in 20 minutes, or said he'd be here in 20 minutes. He's not here right now. So second guest is going to come on in his place. Second guest, I will give you a hint. Prepare yourself because I'm about to bring you into the stream. Are you ready? All right, I got a thumbs up. Hello, yeah. Second guest.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. Hey, everybody. It's Kris from Go Via or Go Home. How you doing?
Good, good. How about yourself?
Excellent. I thought I'd bump you up in the order because Sparky will be our first guest, and our third guest is waiting in the basement. And I wanted to bring you up because we've got something kind of cool to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. Did you want me to take the
So,
reins on that, or?
well, yeah. I mean, there's a slide up, and I haven't sort
Mhm.
of hinted at it. So why don't I throw the floor open to you, and I can sip the beer, and you can tell me what you got planned.
For sure, for sure. So I do a show every Saturday night called Rail Talk Live. It's relatively new. I used to do it Sunday mornings as a brunch build, where I would build kits, do some weathering, graffiti, and whatnot. But due to a schedule change, I've moved to Saturday night. But we're doing something real special because last week we had Nick from ITLA on, and he gave a clinic, a very informative bit of information about the ITLA as a company and what they offer. And we're going to be doing a group kit build where the lot of us, we've got that kit, the kit that's on screen right there, which is the York Industries, and we're all going to build it. And we're all going to do our own versions of it, and we're going to get coached, hopefully by Nick, and we'll see what happens.
Fantastic, and I'm in. I mean, that's exciting. I've only built a very, very small kit from Nick at ITLA before, and when I say small, I'm talking like bigger than an outhouse, but smaller than this. So I'm very excited. So it's this Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do people join in? And can people join in if they don't have the kit, or do they have to get the kit first? Can it be any kit? Like, give me a little bit of so how does this work?
So prior to this one, we did the I guess the clinic. Nick was offering a discount at the time for anybody who
Okay.
wanted to join. That has since passed, but
Okay.
anybody who wants to pick up the kit is definitely still able to. You can order it from itlascalemodels.com.
Right.
And if it's here in time for Saturday, great. If not, you can always hop on the following Saturday and join us.
Okay.
Now, the York Industries, when you purchase it, you're either, well, you buy the one kit and you can basically do either a 3-dimensional or you can do it as a background flat. It's limitless with this kit. So you really
Okay.
have a good option there. But we didn't want to leave the end scalers out. So that kit there is not yet ready for end scale. So he was also offering the Allstate machine kit and the Cosmopolitan. So
Okay.
if you do end scale and you want to join in, a lot of the same tips and tricks and techniques that he'll be providing us work right across the board with all of them. So
Okay.
no
And
one's left out.
if people want to go to your channel to
Mhm.
go back and watch
Mhm.
the last episode, are you a moderator on my channel? Well, Sparky is. So I don't know if you are. You should be if you're not. But
I'm not sure.
I don't know, and I don't know how to make you either. So I will do that before. But how do people find your channel on YouTube, and how do people watch the show that you're talking about from last week?
For sure. Well, I mean, yeah, you can search up at Go Via or Go Home, all one
Okay.
word.
Okay.
And then I'm a big fan of creating playlists. I've got playlists for everything. So if
Okay.
you specifically want to see Via stuff, go to the Via playlist. If you want to see Go Transit stuff, go to the Go Transit playlist. But I do have one that's specifically Rail Talk. And
Okay.
yeah, it should be right there.
So go to Go Via or Go Home. Then you go and you look at past live streams, featured channels, and then playlists. Okay, I see playlists here.
Mhm.
I'm doing it live. And then ITLA builds. Is that the one from 4 days ago?
There's that one as well. Yeah.
Okay. Or am I looking at, so tell me again, I wasn't paying attention. Sunday brunch kit builds, I see that. I was multitasking. I was drinking beer.
Yeah, there should be one for ITLA builds. And
Okay,
then there
I
should
see
be
it.
a separate one, I believe, for Rail Talk.
Rail Talk. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Rail Talk. Perfect. I got it. It's the second one in. And oh, I don't want to play it right now. Okay. Rail Talk working title, new Sunday brunch build, but on Saturday night.
That's the first one.
Got it.
It should be the next one.
It's the one after that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what people are looking for. Now, one last thing before I see guest number 2 is here. If people want to do this and they haven't already signed up, the discount is over, but I'm happy to put together a mini prints discount. And what I mean by that is for anyone who is currently doing it with you already or who wants to do it, I'll throw in a bunch of mini prints accessories for free to do the kit build, just as a sort of a get people excited and do it type thing. And we will figure out how I get it to people. So basically, if people pay the postage, I'll just send a bunch of stuff out and you and I can put our heads together and figure out, what of the mini prints catalog might go well with this building. And I'll talk to Nick as well.
That's really cool. I appreciate that.
So if anyone wants to get in on that, you'll give me a list of the people who are already signed up, or, if people want to get in on it, they can contact Nick. I'm assuming they can contact you through your YouTube channel.
Yeah, on all the socials, all at Go VR Go Home.
Perfect. And Sparky posted the ITLA video. So thank you, Sparky.
Thank you.
Oh, well, and Sparky's trying to sell me on basically including him with the kits. I think a Sparky would go well with pretty much anything, don't you?
I think so. Yeah.
And on that note, why don't I just add him in? There we go. Ha ha.
Working in the basement.
Warning there.
Well, I turned the camera on just for you anyway, so you knew I was ready.
All right.
Hey, Kris.
Hey, way to be tardy to the party.
You don't want to know.
So I don't want to leave our final guest of the evening in the basement too long. And I'm going to bring you on. If you're good to wait another few minutes, give me a thumbs up in the basement down there. All right. I'm getting a thumbs up, I think, in the basement. Oh, I'm getting a text. Uh-oh. There's a comment, private chat. Oh, yeah. All good. Okay. It's all good. Okay. So then, seeing as I've got you both in, Sparky, you're doing this crazy kit build, aren't you?
I am actually, yeah.
Excellent. So you will have the pleasure of seeing Sparky, but I wanted to invite you on, Sparky, today to talk about this YouTube meet and greet that's happening in, I guess, less than 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick.
Now, are you coming to this, Kris?
I unfortunately don't have time off, so I might be missing this one.
Now, if Sparky and I are in the Pennsylvania for the Saturday of the group build, do we lose points?
I don't think so.
Are we going to be behind in our marks?
No.
Okay. Would you like to stick around for this, or do you want to get going?
Well, I'll let you guys have at it.
Okay.
I think I had my piece here, so I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to come on, and can't wait to see you guys next week.
Yeah, no problem. And everyone, watch the videos. Get in touch with. You can get in touch with me. You can get preferably in touch with Kris at Go VR Go Home, or you can ping Nick at ITLA. Get your kits. Get involved. There are going to be a bunch of us building. I don't think any of us know what we're doing, so we're going to learn a lot from Nick, and it's going to be a ton of fun. And thank you so much for doing this, Kris. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward. I've never done a group build before, and I'm really looking forward to building along with you.
There's so much fun. I'm happy that you guys are joining. So
awesome.
Really excited.
All right. Thanks. Have a great night.
See you, everybody.
Okay, bye. All right. So, hey, Sparky.
Hey, how's it going, Bernard?
Good. Have you ever seen yourself any bigger on screen? Look at that.
I know that's a very scary picture, actually, and I got that little dimple thing like right there. Never noticed it until I got the video camera out, and then it's like, how do you get? No, it's still there. So,
well, Lynn McCurdy, welcome. You just joined us. I see MrTrain.com has just joined us. If you're just joining us right now, I am drinking, and you probably want to know this too, Sparky. I'm drinking a New England Dreams peanut butter and fluff flavor stout from my friend Dan. Oh, it's amazing. It's from Maine. It's from Maine. It's from my friend Dan, and he brought it to me when I was at George Sellios's Franklin and South Manchester. Kris was telling us, as you saw, about the group build. I'm about to bring on our third and final guest of the evening, who, no disrespect, but he's kind of the main attraction. So if you've just joined us, you're here in good time, because I've got an announcement after this that will blow your socks off. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is big. This is probably one of the most exciting things for me in the last 4 years at Miniprints. Awesome. Good part is I'm wearing socks then. Yeah. It's a good thing. But before we get to that, what's going on? How are you doing? Well, it's been a really busy day, and a little behind the scenes. I'm not going to stay on too long with you, but okay. It's been a hectic day, and I'm not quite done yet. So once I'm done with you in here, I get to go out and clean out my car. Okay, so you got 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you want. Well, I got whatever we're going to take. I just tell us about the YouTube meet and greet. Meet and greet, basically what that is, and I've been doing it for years now, is I decided a long time ago that I'm going to go on vacations. I want it train related. And I want history involved with it. There's a lot of it down in Pennsylvania, obviously. So when I was doing that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to throw it out to the YouTube community. This is where I'm going, and just see if anybody tags along. The first year I did it, I had 7 people show up, and I only posted it 2 weeks before I went down. That was to Steamtown. I've done Strasbourg, did Steamtown a second time. 107 people showed up the second time I did a YouTube meet and greet. So wow. It's just kind of, I'm not going to say snowballed from there, but every year, third weekend of May, I do a meet and greet somewhere, usually in Pennsylvania. And last year was in Colorado, and you were nice enough to grace your presence with us. So it was a pretty cool trip. So much fun. Quite a few people showed up. I think there was about 5 or 6 people that showed up to that one. So yeah, just a few. Yeah, unless you think there was better numbers. And we rode a few incredible railroads, didn't we? Oh, we did that. And I think one of the best times I had was all showing up. What was it? The taco restaurant that we did on the Saturday. And we were eating tacos in an amazing sort of Tex-Mex restaurant. And there was a UP main line right out the window. Right beside us. Every time a train went by, everybody just kind of like stopped eating and ran outside. Yeah, but who else joined us for that, Bernard? Do you remember? Yeah, I think it was the man himself, the Marlboro Man. Mr. Ed Dickens joined us. That's right. I think there was about 7 people from the Steam program for the UP that joined us for dinner that night. It was spectacular. It was so much fun. So including someone who's on tonight. Very cool. So I'm not saying that my YouTube meet and greets are amazing or anything else, but if you haven't been to one, you want to try. But I do try to go kind of above and beyond now, because I know it's a group event. And even this year, the Reading tour that we're going to be doing on Saturday is a once-in-a-lifetime trip. We're going to be riding 2 RDCs to Minersville Day. We're going to go down to a coal breaker, riding a steam locomotive, or behind a steam locomotive. It's just an amazing day that's all planned out, in cahoots kind of with Reading on that. And I can't say enough about how amazing the trips are. So, and the biggest thing about it, Bernard, though, is you get to meet other YouTubers. Absolutely. So I'm driving down on the Friday because, full disclosure, Thursday's my birthday. So I'm going to have birthday at home with the fam. Friday, I'm going to drive down. So I'm there Friday night. Saturday, we're riding the rails.
Well, Friday
Are
we're going
there-
to ride the rails too. Friday we're doing the Jim Thorpe at 3:00, and that's the dome
Okay.
car.
So I'm going to miss the Friday Jim Thorpe.
There you
But so there's Friday Jim Thorpe,
Yep.
Saturday Reading.
Yeah.
We'll
And then
talk about
Sunday-
Sunday and we'll talk
and
about Sunday
Sunday's
in a
going to be
minute.
the museum in
Yeah.
Hamburg. That's the Reading Museum, and then and I think you've got the name
Yeah,
of
I'll
the
talk
Model
about
Railroad
that.
Club. Yeah, that we're going to do.
Talk
Plus,
about that in a minute.
oh, okay.
but-
I won't say the plus part of that then.
No. We'll talk about that in a minute. But here are my questions. Question number 1. Are there still tickets available for the train rides?
Yes, there is. Last time I checked, there was 70 tickets, but that was 3 days ago I checked. So I'd imagine
Okay,
there would
great.
be. So.
Good. I've got mine, so I'm set. But I just want people to know. If people want to jump in on this,
Mhm.
and we'll tell them what we're doing on the Sunday in a minute. But
All
if
right.
people want to jump in on this, what do they need to do? Is there a place to go? Is it organized? Is it disorganized? Is it like this is fun and this is YouTube? And how do people sort of figure this stuff out if they want to do it?
So on my YouTube channel, and I'd have to go back and look, but I think it's like a 3-minute video. It says, "Are you coming?" And
Okay.
it gives you all the links that you need right in that video. You click on them, it takes you right to the buy tickets page. Like I said, Jim Thorpe is the dome car at 3:00. Reading,
Okay.
Pennsylvania to Minersville. Make sure you do a return trip for that one. That way it brings you back to Reading. If you don't do a
Uh-oh.
return trip, it'll leave you there.
I don't know what I've done.
I'm sure you did. And the tickets
All
aren't
right.
that expensive either. So,
All right.
but yeah, that one video I did, like I said, there's 2 videos out that are about 3 minutes long each.
Perfect.
All the links are right there. So,
All right. So let me cut to the chase. I will be at the Lehigh and Keystone Valley Model Railroad Museum on the Sunday in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It looks, by the way, to be amazing.
Mhm.
I will be there from 2:00 onwards, and I think they decided they're going to stay open for you until 8 p.m. Is that correct?
yeah, they'll stay open for our group until 8:00 at night. So,
Okay. So Lehigh and Keystone Valley, I think I got that right. Model Railroad Museum, great layout from the look of it. And I will be scanning.
so talking to them, they said they need 45 minutes if you're going to go there and just kind of walk through real quick. That'll see
Okay.
the whole layout. They said really what you want to do is take about an hour and a half, really take in the whole layout, take some nice video pictures and stuff like that. And it's open to cameras and stuff. So,
It looks spectacular. I mean,
But
I
you
can't
said
wait to see this layout.
but you said you're going to be there?
I'm going to be there all day scanning.
Right on. See, now
So
that's the
it-
other thing about my YouTube meet and greets too, is you were asking if it was kind of set up informal or whatever. And I try to leave them pretty informal. So the Sunday, like I said, I'm doing the Reading Museum in Hamburg, and they're going to open, I think, an hour early for us.
Okay.
And then, like I said, and like you said, the train club's going to stay open for us until 8:00. So it's not like you have to rush to one event and then rush to the next event. You've got all day Sunday to take in both those events. You can do it at either time. So, like whatever time you get there. So,
Perfect. If you would like to get scanned and you are within a drive of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the miniprints.com/meet and greet, and that's meet and greet because it's a meet and greet, not and greet, is live now. And people can scan up to get signed.
so maybe they can sign up to get scanned.
Yeah, maybe. This peanut butter and stout, it's only 6%. Holy moly.
I'm just drinking the plain stuff.
Yeah, well, it's been a long day. Anyway, I will be, and this is the first time I've ever been scanning in Pennsylvania. So if you were within earshot, you live in Pennsylvania, you want to come out and see us, be part of Sparky's YouTube meet and greet and get scanned, then there will be a lot more information. I have a secret code, Sparky, for you.
Just for me?
Just for you. For
Like
the
only I can
first-
use this. Only I can use this code.
No, for the first 10 people who use Sparky 107 that's the code, they get a special scanning price.
Awesome.
So if you type in Sparky 107 you can get scanned.
So I just do that in the chat right now?
Yeah, you can add it in if you want. I haven't added it. We'll start the promotion tomorrow.
Oh, there you
I
go.
want to get to our third and final and the main guest.
Well, I'm probably going to check out on you. Like I said, I've had a busy day and stuff, but I hope to see everybody at the YouTube meet and greet.
How many people have signed up? How many people are coming so far?
So far, I'm thinking in the line of 50 people are signed up. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent. I will see you. I also have a ton of mini prints for you, by the way. So if I don't see you beforehand, I have mini prints for you.
Well, we'll see what I'm doing on this weekend. Maybe I'll see you.
All right. Fantastic.
Well,
this Saturday, you're busy. You're building something.
Am I?
Apparently. We both are.
Oh. How are we going to... Oh, man. We got to talk. My weekends are getting really busy.
All right. Take care. Bye, Sparky.
See you later, everybody.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. That was amazing. So announcement number 1, we have a group build with Kris. Number 2, Sparky is trying to figure out how to get out of the group. Okay. I want to talk about a segment called Meet the Railroader. So you guys know that in the past, I've had a segment on the channel called Meet the Modeler. Thanks to the power of Discord and AI generated logos, I created this Meet the Modeler logo today. Thank you. All right, Lynn, are you sending the pizza over to me? Hang on. Lynn's telling me pizza's ready. And you know, pizza goes very well with beer. So if you'd like to come over and bring pizza, that would be wonderful. But don't miss this. Like, this is sorry, guys. I don't mean to be mean to the people before. This is the best part. You do not want to miss this because this is a Meet the Railroader. And to my knowledge, I don't think that I've ever had a true prototypical 1-to-1 scale railroader on the show before. So if he's ready and he's been patiently waiting in the basement for a very long time, I'm going to bring up our featured guest. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, featured guest.
Hello, host.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. I just got home 4 o'clock from Toronto.
Yeah.
So
47 minutes ago.
Something like that.
So before we get into Meet the Modeler, I want to put up Dan's comment. Because he's saying that, so Lynn is going because his pizza's ready. So Dan is saying it's fast times at Ridgemount High rules. So if Spicoli orders a pizza, you got to share it with the whole class, which I think is really fair, don't you?
I would agree.
Yeah. You are here today for probably the most exciting announcement, I think, in the 4 years I've done mini prints.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched about this. And thank you for joining us. And I want to go back to, I'm going to see if I can do this. I want to go back to share something because I scanned you last weekend.
That's right. That's my ugly mug.
No, not at all. Your scan turned out beautifully. And I scanned you for a very specific reason. Should we tell everyone about this?
Oh, why not?
Okay. So you work for a company called,
I do.
I believe it's called CN. It might be it's not Rapido.
No.
You work for CN, don't you?
That's right.
And coincidentally, and here, I got to go full frame for a second. Hang on. People may or may not have noticed this. Have you guys noticed what's right there? Did you see that, George?
I can see it.
Yeah. I don't know if they've hit the street yet, but you and I have been plotting and scheming, haven't we?
We have. We've had some things going on in the background.
So apparently Sparky needs 2 of this. I don't know what that means. I don't know whether it's the pizza or whatever. Adam Cruz has figured out, but it's not actually a GP9, is it?
No, it's a GP9 RM.
RM. And what does RM
I
stand
mean,
for?
that's being really specific, but
What does RM stand for?
rebuilt, modified.
Okay. And how has it been modified?
So the original Jeep 9s, when they were delivered to CN, had EMD 567 blocks in them.
Okay.
Which was that's just a nomenclature of the motor generation. But with these ones, when they were rebuilt by the Point St. Charles shops, the noses were chopped. Back then, belt pack didn't exist, but it was not that long until it came along later.
Okay.
They had the spark arresters added. Dynamic brakes were taken out, and the guts of the engine were changed a little bit. They added some different pistons and different cylinder heads and that sort of thing, and it became like a hybrid, sort of like what it used to be and what was the technology of the time. So they're all kinds of weird, but they're great.
And this is your scan, and you seem to be holding this very strange. It's not a pizza box. It's
no. It's
No.
that's a belt
like
pack.
more like a bread box.
That's right. With an antenna and a bunch of buttons on it.
Yeah, exactly. So I scanned you, and by the way, you'll see the HO scale version of you I painted up last night, which turned out beautifully.
I think
And
it is.
these are remote control units, correct?
Correct.
And you've operated these things.
I did. When I first started at CN, I started at I shouldn't say I started because Lionel will get upset at me for saying I didn't start in Hornpain. I started in Hornpain.
Okay.
But I worked in Mackyard for a long time.
Where is Hornpain, by the way?
Hornpain is way up in northwestern Ontario.
Okay.
Not all that far from the Manitoba border.
Okay.
But at some point later in my career, I transferred down to Toronto, and I worked at Mackyard in Toronto, CN's Macmillan Yard, and pretty much everything in the yard operates on these RCL belt packs.
Okay. So here's the announcement. And it's I guess it's a three-way venture between you, the mayor of Hornpain, me, the scanner at Miniprints, and Rapido.
That's right.
But to go with the Rapido, which we showed here, GP9 RMs and slugs, we have a real prototypical 1-to-1 scale shrunk down CN employee with belt pack that can now operate these engines prototypically, which is pretty cool.
I'm pretty stoked about that, I have to say.
Yeah. So I had a little fun, and I painted you up, and I broke open the I won't use the word broke. That's not a good word to use. I opened the Rapido unit, and oh my goodness, it is unbelievable. This thing is gorgeous. It's unbelievable. It took me a while to figure out how to get a photograph with the lights flashing.
Of course. Yeah.
But you turned out beautifully, and the Rapido model is spectacular. And by the way, that picture of you is an HO scale, and you can actually see your eyes and your nose and your mouth.
I was gonna say I can see the definition even from looking at it from here.
It's unbelievable. It's one thing, when you do a scan, right, it always looks good like that.
Yeah.
But I printed you for the first time on the new printers with the best resolution you can print it.
Mm-hmm.
I impressed even myself.
That's awesome.
You look pretty great.
I'm blown away by especially how even the definition on the vest and everything came out. It's
the
just
vest,
great.
the radio,
Yep.
the R. So the unit's called what's the unit called?
There's a bunch of different acronyms you could possibly call them.
So belt pack.
Yeah, belt pack. The engines can be called RCL, remote control locomotive.
Okay.
I've heard the belt packs be called OCUs, operator control
OCUs,
units. Like there's all kinds of stuff
okay,
you can.
yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you can call them. There's a bunch of different acronyms, but essentially what it is, it's the remote controlled engine and the belt pack that controls it.
Fantastic. Now, I got 2 pieces of information you probably don't know.
Okay.
So the first piece of news is I went back because I used to rail fan Mac Yard. And I went back to my photographs, and this is a photograph I took in 2022. And I actually stood on the overpass overlooking Mac Yard. And believe it or not, I have my phone with me, obviously. Sorry, it's kind of loud. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
Oh yeah,
I
can hear
watched
it.
them doing this.
Yeah, that's
So
that's the local yard down at Mac. That's the all the local Toronto stuff that goes in there.
So what's that?
That's the local yard at Mac.
Yeah.
So that's where all the local stuff to Toronto goes.
Well, and I actually, let me see if I, whoops, I don't want to do that. I want to go here. I actually, there they are with the belt pack. I don't know whether I'm actually, whoops. But I don't know why this is not, can you see that? I don't know, I froze on it. Anyway, I actually got the crew, like it's a 2-man crew, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So I've scanned you. I need to scan another person.
That's right.
And then we can do, so here's the other thing you don't know. I've talked to Rapido.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're interested, they would like to do what we're going to call a masterclass.
Okay.
On actually, so you've got the GP9RM from Rapido, right?
Well, mine are coming. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the figures from miniprints.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you put these figures? Like, how do you actually prototypically operate this? So if you're into it, sometime maybe, a month from now in June, we can sort of like put together a little like, okay, how do you use your GP9RM and slugs and actually operate them prototypically?
100%. Let's do it.
Because I have no clue. Like, do people stand on locomotives? Like, I didn't even know it was a 2-man crew, right?
Yeah, all 2-man. I mean, it can be 2 to 4 if there's trainees, but yeah, always at least 2.
And I have a question. So, and I don't want to like steal the thunder from this masterclass because I want to talk to you about this because Rapido's totally into it. And if you're into it, we'll do this like little sort of presentation and I'll sort of pre-announce it now, coming soon. Miniprints Rapido George masterclass on how you specifically operate with these things. But why are these why remote control locomotives? If you've got 2-man crew anyway, why not just put someone in the locomotive?
Well, the thing is with 2 people physically on the ground, it gives 2 people one person could be back in the track making joints. Other guy can be at the switch. The way that the pull down jobs at Mac work, and I imagine Symington is about the same. And to answer Dave Hammer's question, yes, Mac is one of 2 remaining hump yards in Canada. Symington in Winnipeg is the other one. We can send the engines down with nobody on them, like physically on them. One guy's usually in the bowl coupling cars, and the other guys are usually at the switches or standing, taking the room, like watching the track ahead of the engine. Because the yard has what we call point protection zones, PPZs. And essentially that's a protected area within the yard that the belt pack engines can go back and forth and nobody's going to get in their way. So you don't have to send somebody physically down with it to go and pull tracks or a couple cars or whatever, or build a train. You do if you go beyond a certain point, but that doesn't happen very often. So yeah, that's why there's remote controls, because 2 people can essentially be moving around on the ground doing multiple things at once, and the engine's going back and forth and doing its thing.
So it's efficiency, it's safety,
yes.
It's speed.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. Okay. So I'm really excited about this because I think, first of all, it was totally cool scanning you. And I think the scan is wonderful. But I love the fact, like, if Rapido is going to come out with a remote control locomotive, you have to then have the figures to go with it, because the engine can't operate by itself. It must physically be operated by a figure, or
Correct.
2 figures, as we've learned. So it makes perfect sense that Rapido has the engines, Miniprints is going to come out with the figures, and now you will tie it all together, and we'll talk offline. But sometime in, June or whenever it works for your schedule, we'll put together this masterclass, and everyone who's actually purchased one of these remote control locomotives who wants to learn how to prototypically operate, because they're beautiful. But honestly, if you're just moving them up and down your layout, you're not really using the remote control locomotive to its prototypical full use. So we'll learn a little bit from you if that's works for you.
Oh yeah, I'm into the idea. Absolutely.
And I'll be honest, Rapido loved it. So we'll be joined by, I believe, Jordan from Rapido.
Super.
And my thinking right now is your figure's done. I'm totally happy with it. We need to get one more figure scanned. And I'm thinking if we can do that, I don't know, you think it's realistic? Maybe find someone this week, next week? What do you think?
Well, I don't know if you saw the message I sent you, but we're go over tomorrow.
Oh, we are? Okay, great.
Yeah, we are.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, I cleared my schedule. So then I scan figure number 2 tomorrow. I think, and this is the official announcement now, I think that this will be ready for sale and up no later than Monday. So people will be able to add you to their layouts as of Monday at the latest.
I'm into it.
Yeah. And I have your address, so I'm going to be sending out some figures of you. But I'll wait
Nice.
until I
Perfect.
scan the second figure. So it'll be a 2-figure set. Now, interestingly, I have an RCU. I have a remote control belt pack operator already on my website, but it was done 4 years ago, and it's not nearly as detailed as the scan I've just done of you. So if people are watching and they have an older figure, don't worry. I will figure out a way of getting you a newer figure, and we'll figure something out. You don't have to buy a new one. We'll do something so that you get the newer, better figure, because the figure I scanned of you and printed out with a belt pack operator blows the old figure out of the water.
That's
Turns
great.
out
I'm really happy it turned out so well.
Well, turns out you're actually prototypical.
I mean, hey,
Hey.
worked out great.
So is it fun operating those units, or is it a pain?
No,
Do
it's
you
a
like
good
it?
time. It's a good time. Yeah. I mean, I've been on the main line now for a couple of years. I mean, I haven't been on a belt pack in a while, but no, it's a surreal experience, especially when you're new, because the thing is they hand the belt packs off to guys that have just qualified, like guys with like 3 months of service. Because you start in the yard, right? But you have to take a belt pack course as part of your training. So it's a very surreal experience being somebody so new and essentially being handed complete control of a locomotive. But granted, they only go up to 15 miles an hour, so like you can get really carried away with it. But it's a very interesting feeling having all that power, like basically like with a joystick saying, go nuts.
So basically when I yell at my kids for playing video games, I shouldn't.
A little column A, a little column B.
Basically, they're just training to be locomotive belt pack
That's
operators.
Right. That's right.
Okay, fair enough. Well, listen, this has been exciting. I mean, I'm sure everyone can tell I'm wildly excited about this project. I'm super thrilled. And thank you so much for being, the RCU, OCU, RCO remote control unit belt pack operator figure in the Miniprints line. I know I showed your picture, both the scan and the painted version to Rapido, and they're over the moon. They think
that's so great. I'm so glad.
Super cool. So thank you for doing this. And I can't wait to schedule the masterclass with you, because there's so much to learn, and I can't wait to operate this on the module prototypically.
I can't wait to get mine. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, you look good, really small.
That's good stuff, man.
Consider yourself shrunk. You're a mini me.
I've been shrunk.
If people want to get these units, I know that I don't know too much, but I know that Otter Valley is getting their deliveries this weekend. And honestly, like the unit is gorgeous. Like it's absolutely, I got the Mother and Slug, obviously. It's a beautiful, beautiful model. Like it's stunning. So check out Otter Valley if you're looking for them. And I won't keep you any longer. But it sounds to me like I should check my email and I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow
Awesome.
afternoon, we're on for a second prototypical employee. So
Excellent. Well, thank you
good.
for setting this up, George. This is so exciting.
Anytime. Looking
right.
forward to doing the class.
All right. Have a great night.
Ciao.
Okay. Bye. Well, like I say, that's the big announcement. So mini prints, Rapido, figures, slug, using the remote. I'm wildly excited. It's a beautiful model. Hang on. Here it is. That's what it looks like. I've taken all sorts of video of it on my module. I will share that. Look for the figures coming, I would say Monday. Couple more last little housekeeping things before we wind up the show. We're pretty much done. We've had 3 guests. I've had a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff flavor stout, which was better than it sounds and better than I ever imagined. Let's take this thing home with the following. All right. Let's share. Here we go. All right. Boom, boom. There we go. If you place an order in the month of May, between now and May 8th, and you place a minimum $20 order at miniprints.com, and you type in the code BLOOMS, BLOOMS, I will include a free Teresa gardening figure, because April showers bring May flowers, with your order. So blooms at miniprints.com upon checkout with any order of US $20 or more. You can pick the scale, N, HOS, or O scale. It's unpainted, obviously. The figure comes in the scale that you order. So if you order HO, you have to put an HO Teresa in your order. But if you would like to place an order today or Monday, as of when the new figures are available, a $20 order gets you a Teresa figure. And it's a really fun figure. If you order $100 or more, I still have a few. They're dwindling, but I have a few Mini Prints coasters left. And any order of $100 US or more, I will toss in a free coaster. You do not need a code for that. It's automatic. I wanted to remind everybody that you can order a number of mini prints painted. So right now, all objects and all people can be painted. So if you type in, or if you go into a figure, you will see what scale you choose, N, HOS, or O, and you can choose if you would like it painted. Painted is available in HO and above, and is just unfortunately too small to paint. And last but not least, well, 2 more things. I have mail, and I'd like to open it. So Mike Saunders sent me an envelope. I have not opened it yet. So this is sent to Stickers at Mini Prints, 163 Sterling Road, Unit 12C, Toronto, Ontario, M6R2B2. So I thought I would open it live on air and see what Mike sent me. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is awesome. All right. So I got some pictures of things I think he would like to see modeled. So he sent me some things that would be cool to 3D print, and I agree. Some nice playground equipment and stickers. So thank you very much for that. That's from Mike Saunders in Vermont, who models the Central Valley lines. Beautiful. I will put that on the module. Yes, Toronto was spelled a little bit wrong, but it still got to me. And last but not least, on the last broadcast, I said I'd have some Henderson swag to give out. But because this has been such a great and long broadcast with 3 guests, why don't we do this? I have this Henderson hat, brand new, never worn by anyone until now. I put it on. Next broadcast, so in June, I will give out this Henderson hat. How about that? So we'll do that next month. So thank you, everyone. It's been a fantastic show. I know at 8 o'clock tonight, so about 11 minutes ago, James went on Mike's YouTube channel, and I'm probably getting this wrong, but I believe if you would like to jump on over to, let's see if I can find it, Cab Crew Wednesday, Dundas Junction Model Railroad, James is on right now, Cab Crew Wednesday. So if you have more YouTube in you, oh, Lynn, I'm hungry. That's not fair. You didn't send any over. So go check out Cab Crew Wednesday if you would like more YouTube. And then I believe, as always, at 9 o'clock tonight, Heath from Human City Junction is on. So Wednesdays have become a very popular, very fun, very busy night. Thank you so much for joining me. I loved having 3 guests on. To summarize, YouTube meet and greet in Reading, Pennsylvania on the 18th onwards. I will be there Saturday the 18th, scanning Sunday, May 19th. I will start promoting it probably tomorrow. So if you're going to the YouTube meet and greet and would like to get scanned in Bethlehem, check out the meet and greet page or sign up for that. I'm totally excited about the ITLA build this Saturday, and you can get involved in that. The George CN Rapido belt pack operator GP9 RM and slug is blowing my mind. I know Rapido will be coming out with some more information about that next week. And thank you so much for joining. It was a really fun broadcast. And oh man, I missed it. I could have come over for pizza. Thank you, Dan, for the beer. I might actually go home and have another one. They were so good. Thank you, Dave, for joining. Thank you, everyone. Order your mini prints, miniprints.com. Don't forget to use code BLOOMS with an S, and I will send you a free Teresa figure. And for the city that does go to sleep, good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.